up, everybody? This is Presto,
CorporalNosaj.
and you are listening to episode 103 of the Nintendads podcast. The Switch 2 is finally revealed.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
It's not like
it's
not like we didn't know it was coming, right?
That's fair, but we have...
Did we?
Our first look, our first real look. The leaks have been all over the place. We've been avoiding doing an episode because it was supposed to be revealed today, which is Thursday, January 16th. And what do you know? A little bit of a sheepish announcement from Nintendo, because I think the post was an update from Nintendo, and then it was just this trailer. So definitely affected by the leaks. I think we could talk about it. We can talk about it as we go through it. But I think let's go through this and sort of discuss each piece as we see it. Right?
Okay.
There's a little bit of a cheat, because I have I wanted to pause and have a good opening screen here with the new Mario Kart. There's a lot to discuss, despite the fact that this is a 2-minute and 21-second trailer with no real concrete information about the system. There's a lot we can pull apart here, and that is what
I am pulling us up on all of the platforms so that I can try to keep track of chat.
All right. Are we ready?
Maybe not.
So red. All right. I'm going to be pausing this quite a lot too. So we have our classic Switch, of course, which Joy-Cons have come out. So the bigger screen. We got the bigger screen, and we got this new premium sort of looking high-end finish. We got now that right there.
Did you notice the high end? Pause at if the high end finish that's on it is graded or granular.
Yeah, it looks like,
or
I don't know what,
graphite or sparkles, or
it almost, I know it's not a powder coating, but it looks like it is. It looks like it's got some texture. It's not that like flat, slick plastic that the normal Switch is. Also, I want to point out that we're looking at the top of the Switch. The top of the Switch with the headphone jack. On the right, we see the game cartridge. And what's this? This is a USB-C port on the top of the console.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Are we sure this is the top?
I'm sure this is the top. Yeah, because this is the game port right here on the right, and you have the headphone. You wouldn't have the headphone jack on the bottom of the console. This is the top of the console.
Why not?
Because you would never be able to plug your headphones in if it was docked.
Why would you want to plug your headphones in if it's docked?
I've done that. You haven't done that?
No.
Oh, well, I'm 1,000% sure this is the top of the.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's, yeah, because look, you have the buttons, power, volume, top of the console, USB-C on top of the console. This is the bottom of the console with the stand.
Okay.
New stand, great. We can now bring the Switch to rooftop parties. Okay. So the Joy-Cons. What are your initial thoughts about the supersized Joy-Cons?
Oh, my Switch is downstairs.
I mean, maybe not supersized, but definitely bigger.
They're definitely bigger.
Yes. Fate Maker, welcome in. So the USB-C, it's not necessarily that I'm surprised that it has USB-C, is that there's a USB-C on top of the console. Why would there be a USB-C on top of the console? That opens up a lot of possibilities for peripherals and additional things to be. But
Okay.
Joy-Cons, what are your thoughts?
Large Joy-Cons are nicer in my hand.
Bigger is better for sure.
Sure.
I don't like that we're stuck with the same joysticks.
I'm
That
not gonna lie. I'm sorry. Zeke says, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just annoyed they're doing the same thing again and again and not making a home console. So
that's fair point.
that's a fair point. I mean, they're sticking to the portable rather than going back to the 64, the Wii U, the dock, or the house station.
I think the portable formula works because some of the best-selling consoles were the DS and the 3DS, and then Switch has been their best-selling console. So, I mean, this is their upgraded version of the formula that works. But
I mean, yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the Joy-Cons. I don't like Joy-Cons. I don't like the thumbsticks of the Joy-Cons. Maybe these will be a little bit better because they're bigger. But we'll see. There's more to talk about the Joy-Cons. Bigger is good. So,
I mean, there were a lot of people who have concerns or I guess criticisms that the Joy-Cons previously felt toyish or flimsy.
well, and they
Maybe
broke.
these, well,
They broke
yeah,
and they got stick drift.
maybe these are more robust, larger.
Maybe that's what this ring around, this colored ring on the outside, is an indicator of, that these slightly better quality. Now, here's an interesting thing too, right? You have these bigger the shoulder buttons that are on top. If you're the last friend to get a seat on the couch and you're stuck with a single Joy-Con,
Those
trying to
shoulder
hit,
buttons are so much bigger in
yeah,
these new, yeah.
they're bigger. So you have the sync button, and then there's something else over here, which we'll get to in a second.
Where are you pointing at?
Hold on. If I pause it at just the right spot, we'll get a good look at it.
Okay, yeah, I've seen people talking about this. Yep.
Hold on. Let me try and, this is a tricky. That right there, that looks to me like an optical laser.
It does.
That looks like the bottom of my mouse. Whoops. Whoops. Oh no, I messed it up. That looks like the bottom of my mouse right there.
Yeah.
So, if you took the Joy-Con and you put it down, like, I don't know, let's see. I think we might see that in a second. Here. Yep, okay. Showing us that there's going to be no stick drift. Now, what do these look like to you right now?
Mice.
Mice.
They look like
They
mice.
look like mice. They even have this extra attachment that the straps are now connected to. So you can put it face down and it can slide along the surface. Right? They're mice. I think this is going to be one of the new gimmicks of the Switch 2. Is that it can be used as a mouse.
Zeke was saying, I want a GameCube too, if anything else.
Hell yes, Zeke. My man. Absolutely.
So I agree in that current position, the way they're set on the table in that shot makes them look like they could be a mouse. And you're right, the port on the bottom looks like an optical lens.
So now this scares me.
Everybody is talking about this. Everyone is talking about this.
This worries me so hard. So
I mean,
so you have to look at it from this perspective too. This is a family console, right? This is a handheld family console. This system has to be made to be handled by children.
Sure.
Would you trust your, I mean, your kids are a little older than mine, but viewers at home, are you going to trust your youngest child to do that action? Hopefully not with that noise. I mean, maybe with that noise. Now, there were rumors of magnets guiding this, which might help, but like that, I don't know. That's my biggest concern, honestly. We might go from stick drift to I bent whatever this little thing is, and at least the Joy-Cons, if they broke, you could replace them or get them fixed. This is part of your system. So, I don't know.
So many people point this out. I saw console. I saw a console repair dude saying, "Thank you so much for bringing me business in the future."
It's an
I,
investment. It's an investment.
so while I see this and I hear everyone's complaints and I understand everyone's concerns, I also have to like I I know what I'm about to say is going to be scoffed at and easily poked fun at and is going to be
Hot
ridiculed
take.
for saying,
Hot
but
take incoming.
I'm gonna say it anyway. I know it's wrong, but I'm gonna say it, and I apologize. I have to think that Nintendo field tested this and was confident before they released this to the public.
I mean, it is a family console, so I think we have to give them the benefit of the doubt that this isn't going to be as bad as it looks.
Maybe.
So, I don't know. Moving right along. Okay. Now, this looks good. This looks
Yep.
I think it looks sleek. I think it looks, I mean, it looks like a Steam Deck, right? If you squint your eyes, it's a Steam Deck.
So I know Tri Kingdom hasn't made it to chat yet, but I spoke to him earlier today, and he showed this video to his son, and his son's immediate reaction upon getting to this point of the video was, "Daddy, it just looks like an iPod with Joy-Cons."
I mean, that's fair. I mean, that is the comparison that a lot of people are making, is this is a very Apple-like trailer.
Yeah.
And some people are worried that Nintendo is going the way of Apple, where it's like, this is the first console that is a numbered release for Nintendo. There's never been the Game Boy. I mean, I guess the 3DS, the DS, and then the 3DS. But this
Sure.
is, I mean, even the Wii and the Wii U, you could make that argument. But this is straight up the Switch 2. No fancy name. No, it's just the Switch Part
Number
2.
yeah,
You've been waiting for
number
8
goes.
years. Now you're getting a number.
Speak of the devil, Tri Kingdom, welcome in.
Okay. So we got the big screen reminding you once again the number 2 is here. Now, this is the part of the trailer that I'm excited about, right? So there's the Switch 2. Now hold on. Hold on. Because let's look at this from a more holistic point of view. $5 word. Why do
We call them
people
50-cent words at
why
work.
do people buy Nintendo primarily for this, right?
For Mario Kart?
It's for Nintendo games, right? You
Okay.
can buy a PlayStation because it's got the latest teraflops. You buy an Xbox because you owe Phil Spencer money. But you buy a Nintendo Switch because you want those sweet first-party games that are not going to be anywhere else. And that I am firmly on board, because I have a PC. I don't play handheld that often. So to me, the only value in Nintendo system is the first-party software and the gimmicks if they're fun. So now we're sort of moving on from talking about the Switch 2 in general. Now we're talking about Mario Kart 9, which is presumably going to be the title of this.
Presumably.
And we have to start We have to start from the first screen if I can manage to pause it and unpause it. Now, what do you notice about this picture right here, aside from the fact that we're on a new level? Because I didn't notice this at first. Someone had to point this out to me. And I don't play a ton of Mario Kart, so I don't.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, and another row of 6.
That's
so
easy.
1, 2,
Talk about
3,
full numbers.
4 rows of 6.
That's 24 starting places.
Yep.
Welcome in whoever just liked the screen. Mark, thank you for liking the stream.
And Brian.
No, Brian. Hey, Brian, welcome. Yeah, that's 24 people. I mean, that's not 24 people, but there's 24 starting positions. That's double the amount that you can currently race. So that's the first big deal that I see is they just doubled the amount of racers potentially on this track.
Assuming, yep.
Yes. So, and we see some familiar faces. We see Wario. We see, I think that's Rosalina, Mario, Luigi, like the usual suspects. Right? They're doing little hops. This is a snowmobile, which, I mean, we can expect new styles of cars and such. Okay, we got Mario. We got a weird ass looking Donkey Kong. There he is. His eyes are touching. His eyes are touching each other.
It's hard to see, but yeah.
If you watch the trailer like full screen, yes. He looks more like Super Mario Brothers movie Donkey Kong than traditional Donkey Kong. He's got a little bit of a redesign going on. Which I like.
I'm a fan of that.
You don't like it? You like classic?
Yeah, I'm
okay. He is Retakong. He's retconged.
4 is where it's at.
So let's see. So okay, we got a new boost pad here. Right? This is pretty. New boost pad. Got some stuff. Now, this shot to me is the most interesting part of not this. I mean, that's good that it's coming this year. But this right here is a very interesting thing to me. And I'll tell you why. For 2 reasons. Number 1, it looks like in the beginning of where they show it, they kind of have this this turn off where it looks like the road goes left and then they have arrows pointing to the right. So we might have tracks that are changing course. We might have tracks that allow you to go different directions on them. Because get back in here. This looks like, this doesn't look just like for funsies. This dirt road looks like it's an actual part of the course. Right? Big open areas. That's cool.
There's a couple maps in the current Mario Kart that allow you to have alternate routes that double back onto each other and ultimately reconvene into a single path.
Yeah. But this right here. This right here. The turn off with the little yellow
power
square, right?
Yeah.
Now that looks like a smiley face or something, right? That is not a question mark block. And I have a theory. About what this might be. Okay? This is the theory, and I will look like a superstar if this comes true. I think they are going to introduce fuel as a mechanic in this game.
Oh, interesting. I wasn't expecting that.
Because if you watch, hold on, I think it appears somewhere else too. So it looks like there might be another road here. I think there's somewhere else where you see it that it's like maybe a gas station style fill-up thing. Let's see. I thought it was somewhere. Maybe I'm imagining. So maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just this Yoshi burger thing. So if you can imagine, yes, pit crews. Imagine a Mario Kart where you have to make pit stops. You have to choose when to go off course to manage fuel. Or maybe they're changing the boost meter, so instead of drifting and then getting a boost, you have a set amount of boost and you can use it when you want and you can replenish it with whatever this is. Because this is not every Mario Kart that's come out has had a pretty similar looking design for the item boxes. And that ain't it. So I'm not sure what it is.
It's definitely not the right color. I'll give you that.
And it's a smiley face. That is a smiley face.
I don't see it.
It's look, 2 eyes, smiley face. I know it's I know I have it on a full screen monitor in front of me, but maybe you have to build a team. That's interesting. Interesting thought.
I mean, having the pit crew option is definitely a thing. That would be interesting, having to manage your fuel or repairs or something.
Yeah. I think that's cool. I would like a fuel system, or at the very least, a boost system where you have boost that you can use when you want to use it. Why does Corporal look like he?
I mean, yeah.
It's that RGB. Okay. So 2025, as expected, plays Switch 2 exclusive games as well as Nintendo Switch games, asterisk. Plays physical and digital Switch games. Certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported on or fully compatible with Switch 2. What is that about?
Hold on, I gotta read it.
Certain
Nintendo Switch 2 plays both physical and digital Switch games. Certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported on or fully compatible with Nintendo Switch 2. Details will be shared on the Nintendo website later date. I wonder which games that are capable to be played on the Switch are not able to be played on the Switch 2, and why.
I mean, it could be something like, I don't know, like the early, like the games that are specific, like 1-2 Switch, that are specifically made for the Switch hardware. Like there might only be a couple.
Yeah.
But
I'm also excited for the next Smash. Sakurai said forever ago that one after Ultimate will be scaled way back and be more concise.
I would love a sequel to Melee that is a lower skill floor, a higher skill ceiling, but has some stuff to learn and is balanced. I don't know. I have a whole, like, we could do a whole episode on Smash and what the future of Smash could possibly do.
Yeah.
Means they can charge more for accessories. Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, you mentioned the USB port on the top, right?
Yeah.
USB-C port on the top. As stupid as this sounds, what if it's like a link cable?
Somebody made that joke. It's like, what if they're bringing link cables back and you can trade Pokemon via the link cable? I mean, it could be, but like, why? You have Wi-Fi, and like, there's no reason to have a link cable if you have.
Is there Bluetooth?
Yes, yeah, because you can. They added Bluetooth, the ability to pair Bluetooth speakers 500 years after the initial release. But yeah, there's I don't know. So most Switch games backwards compatible. That's good. E for everyone. That's good too. And then, of course, we get the Direct on April 2nd. Right? Not the release.
It's not the release of the Switch.
No.
It's just the announcement of the Nintendo Direct.
It's the announcement for more announcements.
Which means that, yeah, they're just going to talk more about the Switch 2, what's coming to the Switch 2, when is the release date, hopefully, for the Switch 2, and what is the price point announced for the Switch 2. Most of which has already been leaked through rumors. But the one thing that we have not heard, and so help me God, there better be at the Direct, is a conversation about specs.
Yes, that has to be the... I mean, the specs have... A lot of the specs have supposedly been leaked.
Yeah, but we need real, true, official specs.
Yes. Maybe specs, that's all I care about. I mean, I care about games more than specs.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are looking at the price point and wondering, is it worth it? And
It's going to be
the only way,
$400. That's the price.
yeah, and the only way to really justify that is whether or not its hardware can stand up to the longevity of what the console needs to produce.
Yes.
There is so much conversation around Xbox and how Xbox is no longer a console system, because you can play Xbox on your phone, you can play Xbox on your TV with a Roku stick, you can play Xbox cloud gaming, you can play Xbox on PC, you can play Xbox on a console.
Well, and there's like no exclusives.
Okay, but my point is, like, with a stronger hardware, Switch has partnered with third-party developers and has started bringing third-party games to their console for the first time in a forever ago. So my thought is, what other third-party games are going to come to the Switch, and whether or not the hardware can support that, and whether or not that creates the longevity of the console. And that is the question that may justify, for many people, its price.
I think that's a good point. The rumored release specs are PlayStation 4 Pro, and it will be able to play PlayStation 5 games, Xbox Series X games. Supposedly it'll have basically the same performance as far as resolution and frame rate as an Xbox Series X. I mean, that's not nothing. That's pretty decent. But again, the PlayStation 5 and the Series X have been out for years at this point.
I was about to say, specs are going to prove that for us. We can't just take rumors.
I don't know. I really want Nintendo not to be like almost a full generation. They're like a half generation behind, and then the Switch has been out for 8 years. So now they're basically a full generation. Which is fine. Like, I get that. They want to stagger their releases so they're never directly competing with the newest consoles. But, like, third-party games are becoming more and more important to gamers. And it needs to be able to handle third-party games that have come out in the last 5 years. Not like, okay, No Man's Sky's been out for 8 years and now it's on the Switch. You know?
Yeah. Sony will have the new PSP, PlayStation Portable, coming soon. That's going to be the thing it has to compete with.
Yeah, so they also have a series of hands-on events coming in the next couple of months. So I think we're going to get some good first-person accounts from media and influencers and all that jazz in the next couple of months, because I'm pretty sure some of these dates of the hands-on events are in February. So I am just glad that it is not releasing in early March, as was rumored.
Because it's going to compete with the one thing in this world that you actually are obsessed with.
Huh? What? Nintendads. We're the Nintendads. Nintendo's in the name. Of course, this is my hat. I have a Luigi hat on. Yes. So, I mean, it's short and sweet. I'm a little salty we didn't get more specs.
Mamma mia.
I don't think this was what they had planned. I think if the leaks had not have happened, this would have been a direct, not a teaser trailer. And I could be wrong, but this doesn't feel like the announcement people have been waiting 8 years. Right? Am I right?
It's not the announcement that people have been waiting 8 years for. And I think the reason why it's not the announcement that people have been waiting 8 years for is because their excitement has been taken because of the leaked rumors.
Yes.
And
Like
we
at this
knew
point,
too
we've all
much.
seen this.
Yeah.
We've all seen this form factor, right?
Yep.
Most of us have seen this logo. Like
Yep.
this was not a surprise. Mario Kart being shown was a surprise.
But it was heavily rumored that we would get Mario Kart.
Yes. So, I mean, I don't think we can dissect this more. Side quest. What? I mean, there's more questions than answers at this point.
I have a side quest for you that I think
hit
would be
me,
hard.
hit me with it, Mark.
Based off of what you have seen so far, my side question of the day, you think it's worth buying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, this is a day one purchase for me.
Try Kingdom's in comments saying no.
Try Kingdoms, no. No, I'm being a little bit, you know, I'm hamming it up a little bit. I mean, that is the question, and I think it comes down to the games, right? Because number one, if they can put out if this launches with a new Mario Kart and they announce or showcase a new 3D Mario game, because Mario Odyssey was a launch title on the Switch, and Mario Odyssey is a lot of people's favorite game on the Switch.
So
Jason, welcome.
We have actually talked about this, how what constitutes a console seller. Is Mario Kart a console seller, or do we need something bigger? And the argument has always been Mario Kart 8 is the best selling game on the Switch, so Mario Kart 9 is the obvious choice. Do you think it's enough?
So here's another way to think about it, and you and I had talked about this a little bit offline. So when the Switch, when Mario Kart 8 first came out on the Wii U, you played it with friends in person. You could play online, you could play the Wii U online, but
Yep.
I think Mario Kart was more of a game that you played with your friends, with your family, in person, on a couch, sat next to each other.
When it was first released on the Wii.
On the Wii U.
Wii U, sorry.
On the Wii U.
Wii U.
But in the million years that have passed since then, the default mode, especially in a post 2020 world, is you play online. Online is the primary place where people play with their friends. Yep. So, number one, Nintendo has to have a much smoother, better online experience. And I think they will. I don't know if it's going to be up to snuff to my very, very high standard. But the other thing is, people have so many options to play multiplayer online with friends. Fortnite. This Mario Kart 9 is going to have to weirdly compete with Fortnite because it is a casual, all ages, gonna be primarily online multiplayer based game. So that's what they're up against. And it's going to have a lot of really good elements. It's going to have meaningful progression. We're kind of getting into the weeds a little bit with this, but they're going to need some element of progression or really, really fun experience to get people away from other online multiplayer games to play this game, let alone buying a console to play this game.
Jessica in chat, what's the most appealing difference between the Switch and the Switch 2?
It's going to presumably have a lot more powerful hardware. It's going to be able to hopefully run games at 60 frames. It's going to be bigger, better, faster, harder, stronger, all that stuff. But ultimately, I think it's going to be the first party game that is the make or break. And I mean, Nintendo's leading with the right hook. Their best selling game, of their best selling series of all time, front and center here.
So I think the tagline that's at the end, that not all Switch games are going to be available on Switch 2, is purely there to protect themselves and is not meant, as most Americans will see from Microsoft or PlayStation, as a threat. I still think the majority of Switch games will be available.
Yes. I think this might even be like a fringe, a very, very outside case, because there's so many indie games, there's so many weird games in the eShop, and I'm sure some of them will have some sort of weird conflict running on the Switch too. But I would assume every single first party Nintendo game that is available on the Switch will be available on the Switch too.
Are the side controllers, you think, going to be easier to use because of them being slightly bigger? Or is the concern that the larger controllers won't work as well for the smaller hands?
I mean, these, I don't know. That's a good question. Because you see, this is a Switch next to the Switch 2. It's not that much. It's not that much bigger, and to me it looks like the majority of the real estate is not going to be between the joysticks and the buttons. It's going to be on the bottom. Because look how much space there is here, and how these are pretty close. The buttons and the joysticks are pretty close. Buttons and the joysticks are pretty close. This is just higher up. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking, but that's Mario. That is Mario Wonder. Yeah.
Just listening to your thoughts about this while I'm working, really excited about the new console, Jason. Thank you. Welcome in.
Yeah, it is. It is very exciting. I'm just a slight bit disappointed we didn't get any concrete details. I would have expected,
specs.
Even if it was like super baseline, like it's gonna run at 60 frames, it's gonna run 1080p handheld and 4K on a TV. Boom. That's all I need to hear. Right? And I think that's all. I think a lot of people are asking the same question. Why would I buy this when I have a Switch at home that works perfectly well? And besides Mario Kart, there needs to be another answer to that question besides that it's a little bigger and it's got Mario Kart and it's going to come down to hardware specs. I think that's going to be the main thing besides first party game.
I think, like Jason says in the chat, it's just the new 3DS to the old 3DS. Like, it may not actually be that impressive.
No, I think hardware aside, because you also got to consider that when the Switch came out, it was really the only thing that did this. But now there's Steam Decks, now there's ROG Allies. Like, now there's, if you want to play games handheld and then take your handheld game and hook it up to a TV pretty easily, that exists now. That's around. It's not unique to Nintendo anymore. So hardware, you compare this hardware to a Steam Deck, probably going to be pretty similar. Steam Deck's probably going to edge it out, maybe, for the price point.
It's gonna come down to the PlayStation Portable when it's announced.
I guess so. I don't know. PlayStation's never really had a lot of success with portable stuff.
I mean, they've done two portable, but
Yeah. Also,
you're correct, it's not been successful.
PlayStation 5 was the console that was supposed to run everything at 60 frames in 4K, and that was not true.
I mean,
That was not true. The Portal is good. The Portal is good. The Portal is good, but it's a peripheral. Look at my cat going to town. Huxley cat, are we getting a Switch too? What do you think?
No.
Yeah, he said those Joy-Cons look like mice, and that's all he needs. I want to see some Zelda. I want to see some Mario. I want to see some themed Switch 2s. I want to see some alternate colorways to the black on black Johnny Cash edition.
That won't come out for a while.
With the update, you can cloud game. You lost me at cloud game. Thank you.
So many people hate cloud gaming.
No, cloud gaming.
I'll be honest with you. Since I've gotten the new Xbox, I have no problem laying in bed at night and Wi-Fi turning it on and using my phone to just sit there and play games on my phone that are being cloud games from the other room.
That's true. But your internet is also provided by like hamsters running on a wheel. So like true cloud gaming where you're gaming, like if your internet goes out, you're toast. So I don't know, we'll see. But I think that's our episode. We are going to continue.
That's all we have.
We are going to continue. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a request. For an extra life. Hold on. Gotta do it.
Extra life.
Extra
life.
There we go.
Extra life.
Even though the extra life would technically be a green, but you know.
That's right.
Well, thank you everybody for coming by. We are gonna end the episode here. However, don't touch that dial, because we are about to start our fresh playthrough in Monster Hunter World. I'm so excited. I can't believe you let me talk you into this.
I know. So go ahead and hit that be right back, and we'll be right back.
We're going to be right back. Hold on, we'll be right back.